Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Top of that the third at your service. Now we're going to talk about this seriously because a lot of you are being told a lie above the lie, right? That goes from management to the porters, the guards, everybody else on the station, right? Right? You got to realise what you've been told is a lie, right? More people will die living with that lie and then ending up disrespecting me, right? We call this a drumhead effect. Why? Everybody is asking that little question because there's a lot more going on than just a bloody pile of horse shit, my ad. But when you look at it realistically, are you going to live with that lie for the rest of your life or get to know me better? What's better than anything else and learning the truth from your own selves? Right? A drumhead is when a court of hearing, as you like to call it, judge, jury, and execution, whatever you want to call it those old days, right? You have to example yourself in the law of justice, right? There's injustice in the Norfolk Railway. There's injustice because you've been told a lie that isn't actually true, right? You're living with that lie for the rest of your life, but you're also passing it on to people, passing the buck, passing the buck, passing the buck. No, don't do it, because all you're doing is actually causing more trouble than your money's worth. So when you live with that lie, you die with that lie, and then what happens? Things go wrong in the sky. Then what happens in the sky when the world's spelling so well? Think about it. There's a logic in this drumhead effect, which I will go through category through category through category. Which why is the drumhead effect more powerful than any of you combined? Right? Admiral Thomas Henry. Now, reverse that, you morons. Get it ahead. Henry George Henry Cooper. Oh, who's Thomas the Tank as well as the fat man of today? Me. So work it out. Em- Admiral Henry Thomas makes sense, don't it? Or Thomas Henry, one way or the other. But the thing is, right? Let me give you a scenario that you should blaming know, right? Picard and the rest of the gang of the NCC 1701D had to do what you call judge and jury type job, right? There's no money in this time, so there's no money involved to clear my name. Why did you think I'm the victim now as well as everybody else? Well, everybody's living with a lie, aren't they, on the platform and being so deceitful. Well, they say you can't be on this platform because we've been told by the management that you can't be on here. I said that's a lie because what the management been told is a lie through somebody else. So work it out. When the lie has been passed up, right, and a lot of this has ways of saying, do you want to live with that lie and feel guilty in the end? The answer is no. I've been accused of something and being guilty of something that I did not do. So think of the drumhead, right? People said, right, they had, right, everybody accused me of everything else, right? What Star Trek, the next generation drumhead? That might give you a little hint, right? You are worried that you can't move forward without me, right? The drumhead effect tells you, right, how to proceed further and further without going on the premises, right? You have to clear my name. You can't just go around spreading that lie after lie and passing the buck to people and say this guy did this and this guy did that, or it's the same guy overall. You're talking about me and you're going behind my back and stabbing me in the back more and more and more. What happens behind your own back, which you don't realise, right? Even by stabbing me in the back, you're also stabbing my grandfather in the back for nothing. You're trying to stab somebody that's dead. You're trying to stab somebody else that's my other grandfather that's dead. So you can't target those two. You target their own flesh and blood. Excuse my French. But then what happens? Everybody say, look, you're talking about my family here, and it's all been told in the drumhead episode. If you reverse it, ding 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 ding, it all makes sense, don't it? Right? You got a management that can't control themselves. Right? You're basically losing. You're not gaining, you're losing. Right? So the drumhead, what do I mean? Right, there's three people, right, behind the table, if you would like to call it, right, and one chair in front of them, right? Nobody heard my story, side of the story. And why? Because they rather live with that lie. That lie will only do you no justice besides what is unfolding in front of you. You can't deny what's involved around it, right? You have to establish you are in the wrong. Right. If somebody told you something that wasn't true, and you have to follow orders by the management, which your head has to say no, because this has been going on for 6 years. So take a white, right? What happens if I told you if you target me, you lose something more daring, right? You're targeting like a young ensign, if you will, for a crime that he never did do wrong, right? These three people, Leandro from one Starfleet and Picard and all the others, they all stood in, right? So you got Thomas Henry and you got all the others trying to clear somebody's name, right? That's what a drumhead effect is. Because you're passing a lie from a lie, all the way down the chain. Why? You're doing this for 20 years. If you do this for 20 years, you kill yourselves in a process. So there's a drumhead effect. Why? I'm telling you, stop acting like a bunch of morons and look at yourselves. Right? You're not achieving anything in life. You're killing yourselves. So by drumhead effect, you're actually understanding the procedures, how they got away with it. In one perspective, I wasn't involved in anything besides not even hurting anyone verbally, probably, of not understanding what's unfolded and understanding that you basically got something you need, but you're throwing it away. Why? Why throw something that's a needy and not a wanty? This is why I can't understand with you guys. You know, you basically you're punishing me for the crime of the diesel team or the management at the time. So what do you do with that management that's telling you a lie for 6 years and you're living with that lie? Even the police, right? I'm getting the police involved. All the Norfolk, what you call it, the Norfolk police, they all been lied to. They all been done, boom, 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 right? So what's that? Telling a lie is injustice. You're not getting any justice, right? So the drumhead effect takes place. Why? There's something about what I am talking about is very seriously here. This is not a game. This is real life. When you look at yourselves every morning when you drink your cup of tea or coffee or having a piss in the toilet, excuse my French, and going through everything, right, in your head, you know it's wrong. You know the lies are wrong. Make sure your head is screwed on, realizing you are all in the wrong. You believing that lie over everything else when you weren't witnesses. You never saw it happen. I never hit anyone, right? Physically or verbally. Verbally a little bit, but not physically. Why? Why do you think I never hit anyone on the Norfolk Railway? Because I have friends and connections inside. So when you think of friends and connections and colleagues inside at the time before they were all booted out in 2019, what happened then? The management thought, oh, let's get rid of these steamies. Let's get rid of all of us. Why? No, you can't. So drumhead effect comes into play. So what happened? Two people go to the other management higher up than them and say this guy did this and that and that and that and that. Right? Hugh Harkett is living a lie. He's a liar. When a lie spreads around the North Norfolk Railway, do you get justice? No. That's injustice. There's a difference between the two. So when the justice system fails on everybody, which it did on that year and that month, and it's gone on for 6 years, what do you do about it? You've screwed up. The justice system never won for me. They lost because they've got a drumhead effect. It's what they call a drumhead effect. So what are you not gaining at the moment? This is going to go on and on and on until you lose something you got. Be grateful you got me, right? But don't bloody throw me off the platform or ban me from it. Because you can't. Because the story has to continue somehow. And you have to be realistically here. A drumhead effect. Ding, 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 ding. And then what happens? The drumhead effect will also try and kill you. Why? Because you shared in that lie. You share in that problem. It's like a Doris, right? Doris and his little redemption problem that he had with the Klingons, with Worf and all that. You know, right? I'll talk about that later. But let's get back to the drumhead, right? In the day, you see, just because someone is uniquely different, you do not discriminate them. Why? You lie about them. You tell lies about this. You tell about lies about that. But what is it doing it to you? It's eating you up inside. You're basically killing yourselves. You're dying. So what happens when people go on and on and on and on until somebody gets it in their head? Why is the drumhead effect come into play? You see, the thing is, while you're going doing your work, getting paid for the job, blah blah blah, right? A guy with the glasses and all the porters, all the guards, wake up and smell that coffee, right? That problem is there. It's going to stay there until that problem gets rectified. So you use a drumhead effect. Go bounce off it. Save yourselves. Do something about it. You haven't done nothing wrong, you've just been told a lie. So have I. But it's not helping you, and it's not helping me, and it's not helping the rest of the fleet that I have behind my back. So when you lot are all laughing and joking and thinking this is all a big round joke, I said no, it isn't a joke. The police, obviously, on the other hand, believe in the letter rather than me. Why? Why? In the end of the day, the police will end up realising they got a lie in their bloody folder, whatever you want to call it, and they were going to say, oh, right, we got this as evidence to prove that they said this and that. Well, saying it and actually seeing it is two different things, right? The management did not do nothing besides biting my head off, right? A drumhead effect, right? So they're biting my head off, trying to wean out the truth, and then effectively the truth would turn the tables. Right, we will go into that at some point. The drumhead effect, it's not a game, right? When you got three people against one person, it isn't fair. So when you got a person involved, right? Let me put you in another perspective, right? Star Trek, Murder She Wrote, Thomas the Tank, and then you got the bill on top. What do you get? The full anagram. But then you've got to work it in your heads like I did. Let's solve your little part of your damn problem equation. There's a problem there, right? In the police, right? The police got false information. So what do they do with that false information? They will have to tear it up and screw it up and fire it up. Why? Because it's a lie. When a lie is given to the cop goes back to the Norfolk Railway, and the manager will say, "Oh yeah, he did it." And you know what? They will brainwash that and say, "No, you made this man very disrespectful. This man hasn't done nothing wrong to you. Not in front of your face, not in your eyes. You're what are you? Right? Let me put this in another way of doing this. Right? When somebody is innocent, right, in the drumhead effect, right, you have to establish that the Norfolk Railway cannot see how they can solve that little problem or equation to say he's innocent, he's innocent, he's innocent. We know he hasn't done nothing wrong because he hasn't had any more reports from anyone else from outside the building. So work it out. What do they like about me that they didn't look? What you did to me is discrimination. It's against the law. For fuck's sake, wake up. I may swear a little bit, but bloody hell, are you going to live on your lives all your life? No. Grow up. Every day we try to tell you this, right? And the end of the day, the drumhead effect really just delay the edible. Why? Because when people try to help you, three people try to take one person down. Why? Let me put this in perspective. Davis Diesel, his wife, and then you also got Hugh Harkett, Sydney. So what happens? They lied to you. Are you going to let that lie worship you? It's not going to take over your life. But what I need is a little bit of flaming respect. Am I getting that respect? No. It's going to take a very long time before you can jump off the cliff on this one. Wake up! Look at yourselves and realise why are we taking orders from the management when we are doing our jobs correctly and doing this, we are doing that, but I don't believe in this lie. Why? Because they didn't see it happen. They didn't witness it. And they don't have proof. And they don't have knowledge. The knowledge in their heads is the only thing that they maintain, right? By discriminating me, you're discriminating my whole family. So what happens to all my family? You're killing them off. You're destroying them. So there's the drumhead effect trying to tell me, oh, your father's half wobbling or whatever, right? That's a prime example, right? Right? Everybody thought he was guilty, 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 right? 3 times, right? Everybody thought he was guilty, right? That's what you're doing on me, because you lied. You lied. Right, so drumhead effect kicks in. Ding, 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 ding. Why? You're allowing something to bloody happen and let the North Norfolk Railway get destroyed. So while you're living with that lie, you're sharing that lie with the management, and the management tells you you can't have this person on this platform. Right, as example, you're basically living a lie just because blah blah blah. Yeah, well, when it's written in black and white, right, which it showed on me, right, it proved that was a written false information. There's a genuine information and false information, right? There's a difference between the two. Read between the lines. Read it in reverse, and you will actually understand. Oh shit! The clues was in the message. So if you were reading it the way I was told, right, you have to establish it's a drumhead effect. Why? Ask yourself that very question. Ask. This is not a game. This is not. This is real life about it. Right? When you bloody put the pieces together, what do you end up with? I mean, someone in my family, besides myself, will knock the North Norfolk Railway down. Why? As you speak my language and understand everything, you probably laugh and giggle and joke and everything else. Everybody will enjoy me and everything else. Yes, they're getting that. They're getting the respect. I'm getting respect back. Why? Because they respect my grandfather as well as myself. So when the drumhead effect failed, why? Why was I'm telling you now why this is all happening? Why? People won't watch this video because they're scared. They got to realise they're living a lie. So when you've been told that I was physically, verbally abusive and my voluntary license was taken away, all the hard work since 2001, I proved my loyalty, my respect, and my honesty in front of you. Right? You, every person, right, disrespect me, except a few. And there was only one of them that actually knew me inside and out. And you threw her out as well, you fucking cunts. And that's why I call it a drumhead effect, because you got injustice and you're basically living a lie that will destroy the North Norfolk Railway. It doesn't matter who's in charge of it. The problem is, to correct the drumhead effect and fix it, you have to work around it now. You've got barriers everywhere saying you can't go on the platform, you can't do this, you can't do that. No, you got a drumhead effect. Think about it. It's easy as simple as that. I'd really like to go down and tell you about it. Why? Right? There's a lot of things you don't see. You're blind as a bat. Right? Right? Let me give you another example, just to give you a drumhead effect that will destroy the false information you were given by the management, right? If you respect my grandfather, you respect me in every detail. Because everything I've done so far, so good, everything was like polite and everything. I know everybody couldn't fully understand me at the first, but you got to draw a line and say you crossed that line. You shared that lie. you're going down with that line. Why? Guilty conscience. Guilty, right? People said the drumhead effect doesn't it proves three people against one individual, right? When you look at yourself in perspective, right? Are people gonna judge one person for something he didn't do? Do you want me to tell you something? The police, the jury, and and everybody else, and the judge will look at me knowing that I'm innocent, right? You do not push the line and say what. I've got enough evidence to even bring down the Norfolk Railway. Why? Because they've been lied to. So work it out. Go backwards and really think about it. Why? You've got a drum head effect. Not easy. You've got my grandfather's legacy behind you, but you're abusing the situation. Because you're abusing his only flesh and blood. That can help you correct your matter. You've got a bloody management that doesn't give a shit about you. You know it's true. You're guilty because you don't want to watch this, or see this, or hear it, or whatever. The problem is, you got the real proof evidence there when you can't actually acknowledge it. Look at yourselves. Look how much lie you've been told. By them, not by me. I'm giving you the truth. Right? Yeah, Davis Diesel and his wife went out to Hugh Harkett, who's Sydney, and said this guy did this and this and this, and what did they do? Screw me up. So that lie was proven by the Sydney / Hugh Harkett, and Hugh Harkett can't even be. He's using all the porters, the guards, and the security on there as pawns. Now imagine that. What I'll tell you about it, how they're getting away with this without acknowledging the injustice they do to me and my family and the rest of it. So work it forward, but you have to reverse it, then go forward, reverse it, and forward it, and reverse it. Then people starting asking questions. People asking around the platforms, saying, did this guy actually physically do this? They will lie to you and say, yes, he did. And the answer to me, I will say, no, I won't. Or I didn't. Right? So what happens? The table's been turned. So look at the railways running at the moment. Right? You sharing in that lie will destroy you. And you'll end up losing just because of two individuals plus the third one from the management then pass the bloody buck. Right? They're going to pass on that buck until somebody realises that that's a lie. When one person realises that it's a lie, they will backfire on you and you will end up dead. All the people that believed that it was a lie, is the truth, will end up finding out it's a lie. A little white lie that destroyed you, right? So a drumhead effect was taken in place. So what do you have to do? To correct the problem and understand the police will have to get involved regardless because they are in the injustice system at the moment. They can't correct that problem. They will not understand it. Why? Because it's a drumhead effect. Get that in your heads. So you've got three people against one individual. Just because he was a different race or a different, it doesn't matter about the gender. The problem is he's a different race. He can speak another language beyond your comprehension. Right? When the Hat member for family gets set up, right, we have to go through a drumhead effect, which has to be applied. But if you want there to tell your side of the story, right? Then everything they've written becomes invalid information because it's a lie. So when the lie has been passed on to everybody else on that platform, Tom, Dick, or Harry, even the management telling it, the management is the first ones to go. Why? The North Norfolk Railway will have to shut down. It doesn't matter about the websites or anything like that. They have to close down. Why? Because they hate the drumhead effect. So when the drumhead effect takes effect, then you have to stop acting like immature men and understand he's innocent, he's innocent, he's innocent. He's trying to prove his point that he's innocent. Right? You already judged me as guilty already. So by judging me as the guilty party member, right, you basically killed yourselves because you're living in that lie. You're sharing that lie. And you're dying with that lie. Right? So I don't want good people to end up living with that lie on their heads. So what do? I apply the drumhead effect. And then I will add in a lot more than what you bargained for. You're not going to win this battle. You lied. You're going to lie in this because you're passing the message on. The management will keep doing this until one of those days I won't be able to get on that platform to help you out. And then when the management starts to fade away like they would, they will end up saying the new management will end up killing themselves because they can't do nothing. Why? Because they can't live with that lie. That lie has gone on for 6 years. You gotta let go. Why? The steam team and myself all on standby. We're all innocent. Right? I proved that because I've got a lot of evidence to back it up, right? But the drumhead effect is taking place. Why? Because it's telling you effectively you're meddling with something. Right? You've been told a lie and you know it's a lie. Right? You can't keep running around it. You can't expose it directly, right? For older generation that understand where I'm coming from, when you're off duty and having a pint, talk to me. Don't hide that lie in your head. Don't let that hot lie drive you to the end of the earth and die. Right? Because that's not helping you. It's killing you. Why? Because you're living with that lie. So when you got a lie, sharing, passing the buck from the management down, crossing down and going down the chain, you're ending up killing yourselves. I don't want to be part of the bloody problem where it says you're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty because you did this and this when it isn't true. You're the bloody liars. Pants on fires. So a drumhead effect tells you everything you need to know. So you're basically screwing yourselves over for nothing. You're the ones that are guilty. North Norfolk Railway are guilty for injustice. Hugh Harkett is a fucking damn insulter. He believed one lie over me. Are you going to allow that? I certainly won't. I can't live with that lie for the rest of my life because that will kill me. And then you will have one fucking problem in your head for the rest of your lives and realise you caused the drumhead effect. Why? using 3 people against 1 individual. How thick are you? How thick are you? You know it's a lie. Telling me I'm physically, verbally abusive. I can't be. I'm quite a nice guy. You're taking down a nice guy for your own personal gain. You're lying to everybody else. You're passing the message on. Passing the buck. Passing the buck until you lose. Right? You're basically killing the Norfolk Railway. You're killing the railway. You're destroying it. You say, oh, you can't be on this, and they say, look on the website and look on Facebook and all that. So let me tell you something. That's a load of bullshit. I know it's happening. Why? But you can't keep telling me that because I have to see it for myself. You can't live with that lie on your head. You've been lied to, and the person that committed that lie is a liar. If you want to live with that lie, what's the consequences that come unfolding in front of you? All you're doing is causing more harm than good. Right? So the drumhead effect is taking place. Right? So when you look at yourselves and realise that 3 people against 1 individual, think about it. Stephen Diesel and his wife, and then you got Hugh Harkett, who's Sydney, and then you're basically screwed up because of their flaming lie. Look at the Norfolk Railway now. Are they going to be well respected now? No. Because by the time you realise this is all happening unfoldedly in truth, people are going to pick up on this message. It's going to take them a while, but it's going to hit rock bottom. But I really want to tell you this because the drumhead effect will never resolve itself because you basically screwed it over. Oh, I'm innocent. Oh, yes, I'm clearly innocent. The injustice system is so bad because the justice system couldn't help. Right? The justice system will not support your aid. Right? The justice system will support me because there's too much evidence. Right? So when you got something that's injustice on the system, would you allow that? Let's just take it from a computer virus. Right? A lie that actually is a virus that eliminates everything on your computer. What do? You can't clear it up. You have to uninstall everything and reinstall everything. Reboot it. You destroyed somebody's reputation for your own personal money and gain. Work it out. It's all there in black and white. Right? We all knew there would be consequences on the line. You knew there would be problems on the line, right? Would you believe somebody that hasn't actually hit you or physically verbally against you and you realise they didn't do this, they didn't do that, he was polite, he was genuine, he was up forward, he was straightforward, la 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 la, going down the line, and you realise that this guy isn't as bad as everybody thought he was. And then what will happen? The reason I talk the way I do now is because I'm standing up for myself. I don't take no bullshit. Right? So what do? Stop listening to the management, for God's sake, and put your own head first before your own gain. You've got something in there that's telling you we have to believe this lie to keep our jobs. Let me tell you something. I'll be honest with you. If I was up there, I would safeguard you and keep your job. How? You have to come out of the building first for it to click. So when the management loses all their employees and all their volunteers, why? Because they told a lie above on every employee and volunteer on there. Right? A lot of you, even the police will understand this now very clearly. The evidence they got on me right now is injustice system. Right? When there's an injustice system, then you lost. Your badges would be, the police badges would be taken away from them because they didn't look at it directly. Right? They don't look into it further than what they should. Now the truth is out. They can't target Henry. They can't target James. Why? And they can certainly not target Gordon. So work it out. You got a drumhead effect. Why? Why is Thomas and Henry, as example, the prime targets? As example. Why? They didn't do nothing wrong. Nor did I. So who screwed up? Hugh Harkett and his meddling head. So when Hugh Harkett, you could class him as wasting police time, because that's what he's done. He's discriminated a disabled person and looked at the letter that somebody else written, not him personally, and said he's a what? He's done this and this. He put his signature on it, and then everything went pear shaped. So I would not believe that lie. Why? Because it's a lie. You only have to read it twice to work it out. The difference between right from wrong. What is actually right and what has actually been told and what has actually been stored. Why? A former NHS nurse was lying to you. Her husband was lying to you. And then you end up Hugh Harkett on top. Right? You have to be realistic and realise that lie could have damaged you, it will damage me, and everybody will lose. Why? Of course it's going to hit you. And it's going to bloody damage you in a lot of ways and one. Your family will be discriminated. Why? You can't even see it within your own selves to realise that it's the truth that I'm saying. When time will come, you will learn that the hard way is your hard doing, isn't it? Right, a lot of people on that platform don't give a shit. Right? It's not about the money factor all the time. The passengers should not go on that platform. Why? Because you're robbing them of their future already. How? Why? So I mean, tell you something. The Norfolk Railway PLC are not going to help you on this. The management just told one lie and passed the buck for 6 years, and you're ending up what you doing? You're fucking it up. In and out. So a drumhead effect. You had one individual that's innocent, right? Out of the whole lot, right? Because he's a different race, yeah. Well, you have 3 people against that, and then 3 people talked about it and found out he was innocent. It only takes that innocency. A lot of people that got that bloody Divas Diesel's personality will end up laughing and saying, we got rid of the fat man. That's what they're going to say, because that's what they're going to do. Because me and Meg, the Norfolk Railway, managed to tell them to believe this lie. That lie's destroying you. Wake up and smell that coffee. That drumhead effect will only be in the loophole for longer and longer and longer until something clicks out of place. Then you will work out why somebody met up with me and talked to me and made sure that my name could get cleared and system. Why? Because your heads are starting to think. Make it more real. Make it sure that I'm stay safe, yes. And go on a platform, yes. The management are bloody using you as pawns because they're too selfish to face me face to face. So work it out. Somebody that knows them very well and also knows you, all of you as well, knowing you carrying a lie because you've been told a lie. I will not lie, and I do not discriminate. However, with all the people you booted out and everything else, why should they go to the Norfolk Railway and enjoy themselves? I tell them not to. Why? Because it's the damn truth. It's a fact. It's logic. When they realise it's this drumhead effect that's coming into play, ding, 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 everybody's going to realise, what is this? Why are we living with this lie for 6 years and not realise it's a false accusation? It's against the law. So when you got something that's black and white, people are scared that I am trying to clear my name, which is true, but at the same time, living with that lie will kill you. Lies kills. Right? Lies will kill you. Because why? Because you're living with that lie and then driving it down the line with you. Right? Don't pass it on to anyone else. Because it's a lie. If you keep believing in that lie, if I believed in that lie, I will gladly admit that I did those things. But I didn't. Because I had to stand up for myself. Why? When somebody had to stand up for myself, why? The public should stand up and realise it's true. Why? Because now I'm going to put you to shame. Right? The Norfolk Railway is closing down. Right? They can remain open every day for everybody else, but then the public have to wake up and smell the coffee. The lie has been drawn. Right? The line between me that I'm not crossing, right? The Norfolk Railway already crossed that line because they believed that lie. Right? The cops could change that and say, no, he hasn't done nothing wrong. How could he do this if he's just proven the point? Right? An injustice system is not right to go forward. Why? Living with that lie will kill you. And you don't realise it. We already lost loads and loads of people, right? And in their redemption, they're going to end up with it, right? And I'm going to talk about that in my next bit of this video. But you got to learn this drumhead effect, drumhead effect, is what's carrying it through. But are you going to live with that lie for the rest of your life? Are you going to say, sorry, sorry, sorry? I will take the sorries, but to repair that damage, you got to learn the realistic side. Get real. When people stand up in front of you, you're ending up saying, what? He said this and this and this. It's all bloody damn true. Black and white, right? The injustice is a lie. What's happening with me? Right? All of this lie is to do with the Norfolk Railway. Right? You have to realise they've been told something that is a lie, right? I'm not telling lies. The Norfolk Railway is. So they're lying to you. They're being deceitful with you. They're bullying you. They're killing you. What are they doing? They're testing your strengths and weaknesses. Right? One of those days, you're going to have nobody up there because you will end up losing. Why? Because one lie fucked up everybody's reputation, not just mine. So what do you end up with? A big screw up. So if you're going to realise what is happening around you, look around you. Is the Norfolk Railway safe up there? No. They've been told a lie by the management and pass the buck and pass the buck and pass the buck. It's been doing it with new employees and then new employers and say this guy's not allowed on air and this guy is not allowed on air. So you know what? That will keep continuing as a loop until somebody's cracked and realises it's a lie. It's better to have something safe in your head, realizing that's a lie, not the truth. I'm innocent, not guilty. So work it out. The police was told a lie, the railway's been told a lie, and it's been crossed down the line. Why? The police can't live with that lie, nor can I, because we have to follow the justice system. We can't play the injustice system to get the justice you want. Doesn't work like that. So when the evidence comes clear, it comes right in your face. You can't just keep me out or keep my family out or anybody out. No, then you're ending up with a bad reputation. So work it out in your head. Who's losing out all the time? You. So when everything doesn't look right to you, or you've been told this information and we have to follow it, you keep saying, I would say don't follow that information because I'm telling you the truth. Right? Of course it's real life. You don't want to admit that you're in the wrong all the time or in the right all the time on the. Let's say that lie was the truth, but it isn't because it's a lie. It's like a lie among you. So if you're going to believe in that lie, just make sure you don't bloody overload your head with it because it's going to make you believe that you're knowing that lie is a lie. Right? You got to tell the management and say, no, I'm not working here to set up someone that hasn't done nothing wrong. They will say, oh, he did this, and he did that, and he did this, and he did that, and he did this, and he did that. So let me tell you something. You're the one who's a liar, hoo-ha Kit. And poor Muxton, and all the rest of them. They're all liars. So they're believing in all that lie and all that shit. Right? Don't discriminate me or I will end up discriminating them 10 times over because they already lost. They're going to court. Like it or lump it. Just declare my name. Right? It's better having a lie over my head as well as yours. Right? If I live with that lie, I will never forgive myself. Right? We're going to talk about a different topic in a few minutes, obviously. But in the end of the day, the drumhead effect, it's like saying to you, you're basically screwed me over. And told a young cadet or ensign that he's got, just because he's got a different blood type, or he's got a different language, or he's a different person, he's very, very clever or intelligent. Are you going to keep telling him or her that because you're gifted or whatever, we got to live this lie and be deceitful and just say you did this and did that and you're not allowed back on the premises? That lie will kill you. Lies kill. Why? Because the police have to realise they're living a lie. So when the justice system comes in, they can re-rectify that problem without a problem. But they've got to realise what's unfolding is the truth. But you've got to realise that everything has to have what you call it's a drumhead effect, which is true, but you have to follow the Prime Directive and the Temple Prime Directive to make sure that you don't screw up and the rumours stop. The rumours are still continuing and continue until one person will go up there and realise it's a lie. You're going to get bumped. Why? regardless of management is telling you this and this and this, are you going to be willing to live with that lie? Are you going to be living with that lie for the rest of your life and feel guilty for somebody who is completely innocent? You can still talk to me. You can still chat to me over a pint or something like that and talk about why did this problem occur. Talk to me. If you don't talk to me, you don't get the answers that you want. Why? If a lie was written in black and white, why? The police had to read it twice now to understand where I'm coming from. Is that the actual lie was written in black and white for my mother to see and myself. She nearly brought you into your lie. Why? I told her, don't believe that lie because that's not true. Why? So, in the day, when you got a problem like that called a drumhead effect, work it out. Work it in your head. Because something is right, not wrong. There's something right about this little topic, aren't we? We've got to talk about this. Why? The drumhead effect is taking place now. Why? On the platform and in my own office, in my own flat. Why? Me correcting the error of the management and saying you've been lied to. Why? Because that lie is now past the buck. Why? Because you're letting Devious Diesel and his wife and Sydney, who Harkett, tell you these lies. So if you're going to believe them over me, then you're going to be screwed up. Why? That screw up is going to end up killing you. And then I will end up with the guilty conscience because I let you die on the platform. Die in front of me. Why? Then I will get the blame, not the management. Why? The management will end up thinking, oh, screwed up. Yeah, they screwed themselves over, haven't they? So they believe a lie and to pass the buck all the way to porters, guards, the security, everybody. Everybody on that platform believes in that lie because they won't let go. Even after 6 years or 7 years or 8 years or 9 years or 10 years, you're going to end up losing stuff, losing people, losing everybody. Why? When good things come to you, you screw them over. You hurt me. Now the Norfolk Railway is going to earn respect the hardest way possible. They can't get out of it now because the truth has just come out. Right? The drumhead effect is now in play. Then we're going to talk about redemption, then sins of the father. Then we're going to talk about checkmate and how it all went wrong. Why? We're going to talk about this very seriously, and I'm telling you now, by thinking about drumhead as the first chapter of this book, of this podcast, you're going to end up realizing it's the truth. A lie spread around the bloody railway, and then because the management told you not to allow me on the platform. Why? Because they believe a lie over my own truth. And so in the police, that's injustice. Why? They got the same paperwork as they got. Why? Are they going to believe it now? No. They will say it's injustice. It's like saying to them, it's like saying if you believe that lie as well, you die with that lie as well. It's like lying to a liar who then lied, pass the buck, pass the buck. Everybody will live with that lie and die with that lie because it's not the truth. Anyway, let's talk about redemption, right? A lot of you know what redemption is in a lot of ways and one, right? My family are the biggest key to all of this, right? Redemption. It's the key to all everything that needs to be recorrected, right? Drumhead is just the first chapter. This is a second chapter. Welcome to it. Now we're going to talk about redemption, and we're going to make it easier as an example, right? Let's look at this from every angle you can think of, and you can really say what could be solved, what can be redemption, what can be solved within this problem of lie. A lie that you must not continue passing the buck on and telling everybody else, passing the buck and everything. How do you prevent it from keep continuing? Because living with that lie will kill you, right? So you got a redemption on my part. I'm innocent. We all know that, right? We all know I'm innocent, right? But we've got to show that you have to follow orders in a certain way that you can, right? You can't live with that lie on your shoulders. If you do, you're living a lie that doesn't concern you, right? It's not your problem, it's not your fault, and it's not my problem, and it's not my fault. We're all being victimized by the management. The management of the Norfolk Railway are not going to be so leniency, are they? So what do they do, right? You all probably seen Star Trek: The Next Generation Redemption and add part 1 and 2 to this, which makes it a longer problem, right? But I'm going to narrow it all down for you, right? Captain Picard takes Worf back to his home planet and becomes his Sadiq, if I like to call it correctly, right? It's a similar problem, right? A son is caused by the sins of his father and the actual occurrence of the Doris family and all of that. We get to the point of this. But when you think about it, redemption. The reason I'm doing this all in reverse is to make sure you get the right way around this, right? We want you to feel comfortable and sit down and relax and enjoy the ride on this, right? You have to establish you can't run a railway without me, right? You have to understand, oh, they told me to look on the internet all the time. Redemption. We're looking for redemption. You can't find redemption in a lie, could you? So the redemption of this lie, the lie that you're following, the lie that you've been carrying for 6 years, are you going to live with that lie until you realise this guy hasn't done nothing wrong? This guy hasn't done this nothing wrong. This man is so powerful. We know that he's not as bad as he looks, right? So your mind is like trying to fix itself because you're looking for redemption, aren't you? Really high, right? The sins of the father will come following sin, but I will want to go through redemption first. So redemption, why? Why you're looking? Are you feeling guilty right now because you're looking for redemption? I could give you that redemption, but you have to look at it. Be realistic. Look around you. Are you going to suffer the same fate like the Steam team has? And you're ending up being in that bucket as well? I tell you, don't fill that bucket up too much or you're going to end up with a big problem. So, I ask you, all the people around you, are you really gaining anything from this? The answer is like asking yourself, why? You're looking for redemption, but you can't redemption yourself because you believed in one lie for so long. Stop listening to the management, for God's sake. They're lying to you. Right? If you continue to believe that lie, you're looking for redemption, right? You're looking for the way to go forward, right? You need to ask yourself the question, why? Why do you think I asked about when Wolf had to redeem himself to get his family honor back and acknowledge that he had his brother Kern trying to help him out and all of the others around him? right? Gowon, the head of the Klingon Council, right? Redeemed his family's honor and managed to get that sorted, right? It's a similar problem, right? You're asking yourself, how do we correct something that we've been told is a lie, but you know you've got redemption? You're asking for that redemption in your alignment, right? You're asking yourself, why? Why ask yourself for that redemption? You're asking yourselves, why live with this lie for this man? Lie. Why believe this lie over this man? What did he do that isn't right? But he hasn't done nothing wrong. He hasn't shown it directly, nor would he ever throw a punch bag. Look, right, okay, I stand up for myself, which is fine on my part, right? I told her to back off. Then it made her scared and made her go to her husband, and her husband wrote a letter, and the letter gone directly to Who Harkett, and Who Harkett believed that lie over everything, and this is what stirs the pot. So work out what happened. You lot are all in this redemption line right now, asking yourselves, you need to recorrect this line, right? But it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort to realise you've been lied to. How do you solve a lie and recorrect that lie? How? There's loads and loads of ways of doing this. This is not a game. This is not a race. But it's not. We've got a certain amount of time to get this recorrected before it gets damaged even more. Right? A lot of people will say there's been two problems on this. Right? The trains you got at this moment, right? The railway locomotives, the rolling stock, the people that try to don't see the lie that you're carrying, right? They're gonna listen to this and then they're gonna wake up and smell that bloody coffee like anybody else. And they will stop going to that railway and you're ending up with redemption on the line. Why? If you didn't go through the drumhead effect, then you go into the redemption effect. So what happens? So work it out. Right? End of the day, you're losing something even more, and you got to realize I'm carrying a lie on this individual. I can't lie, nor would I carry that lie. Why? Because keeping believing that lie for the rest of your life will kill you. Right? We're going back to the drumhead, but we want to go to the redemption. You want to redeem that, right? To do that, you have to be realistic. Be realistic. Look around you, right? Have you had any more complaints from everybody else besides you? That platform will always be there. The older generation know it's all magical. What? Yeah, well, the whole thing is now you you're doing you're taking on a lie that now you want sorry for. You want a redemption for, right? It's like going through this redemption. It's not easy process, right? The management have to come clean and say, look, course we fucked up. Course we did this wrong. We shouldn't listen to two people above this individual. This individual doesn't face us, and we don't face him. We don't talk to him. We don't acknowledge that he's all right. We don't always acknowledge what he's got and what he's got coming and what he needs help with or understanding with or acknowledge this and what he can do, what he wants to do, what he wants. You know, a lot of people don't ask questions, right? And the problem is, if you don't ask questions, you don't get the bloody answers. If you ask the wrong people, then you get the wrong answer, won't you? Won't you? So by people believing this lie for so long, you're asking for redemption, right? This redemption is going to come with a price, right? I told you from the beginning, right, the North Norfolk Railway is going to have to start at the bottom, right? You got to realise you need to clean your head and stop believing that in that lie. That's your redemption. That's your starting point, right? It's like Wolf go to the King of Home Road to redeem his family honour's name, right? To redeem it, to clear it up, fix the problem and solve it, right? You have to realise you are badly screwed up because you're believing in this lie for so long, right? You got to realise the management are liars. They're carrying that lie and they're telling you, every employer and employee, all of it, to say, don't let this guy on this platform, don't let this guy on the platform. Why? You know it's true. That's for starters. What's coming out of my mouth, right? You've got to believe that I don't want to carry this burden. Your head has to think that because you don't want to probably you don't want to lose your job, but you've got to realise why carry this lie on this individual when he hasn't harmed me. He hasn't been abusive or anything. We've got more evidence on him than you lot. You know what I mean? It's like a table's turn, isn't it? Right? Established. Sheringham will not take no more of your shit, Norfolk Railway. But they can't establish why follow orders from a higher up that can't help themselves by they're using you as a pawns. They're trying to put a gate between them and myself. They are too afraid to be honest with me or come face to face with me and ask me these questions themselves. They are too. They are like you lot are asking for redemption, right? To clear your names and say, look, we're sorry that we believed in this lie. We're sorry we believed in that, and we're sorry we believed in this, and we should not believe that lie because we knew it did not happen. We knew you were in a probably in a vulnerable spot, I would say. Yeah, right. You're asking for redemption because you want that lie off your shoulders, right? That redemption is the same thing as what I'm trying to tell you. I'm innocent. My own fleet is innocent. We know everybody else is innocent. But are you going to keep relying on that lie from the management? The management will get caught out one day, and they eventually will, right? Why would a management not face me face to face and admit that they screwed up by believing a lie? Right? You lot are all trying to come back to me and say you want redemption. You want to believe in what's unfolded as truth, which is true. You got to acknowledge you screwed up. You believed the lie. That put you right in the position of the drumhead effect, which is the previous chapter that we just listened to. You have to realise you screwed up. Right? You got to believe, you got to understand that's a lie that's been floating around. Right? If people could turn the other cheek and say, no, I don't want to carry this lie for you. Right? That's what the management is doing. They're telling you, if you don't carry this lie, you don't keep your job. Right? I'm telling you, come to me and I protect you. Right? But you need to get off the platform while it's so badly damaged. Because in the day, they want porters, they want guards, they want volunteers to carry that lie all their lives. And then ending up come out of that when they come to out of their retirement with that problem. Right? Then my reputation on the outside of here will get badly damaged and I will end up with nothing. Why? I'm telling you, this is why redemption is very important. Why? You have to be realistic, right? You have to understand why am I telling you this? Why? It's to make sure you understand with a private connection on the outside and the inside of the North Norfolk Railway. Are they going to allow me to live with that lie all my life? No, of course not. So the redemption is all on you. You got to realise I'm not carrying this lie for you. I'm not carrying that lie for the rest of my life. No way. Thank you very much. That's your problem. That's your mess. You clear it up. Right? You got to push them towards me. You got to you got to stop carrying that lie on them. If they want to use a checkboard or a chessboard on me, be my guest, because they will get a checkmate at the end, I will tell you now. But I don't want you to live with that lie, because with that lie on your head, it's like carrying that lie for them and pass the buck. No, don't ever do it, because it puts you in a difficult position, as well as the police, and the police will have that problem, and they will end up, they've got a redemption in themselves again, and realise, oh, are we going to carry that lie for the rest of our lives? No, they're all in the same circle. So work it out. Within this circle, you've got this bloody problem, right? You've got a drumhead. You've got redemption, right? You're asking for that redemption, right? To clear your family's name, or you'll clear your lie, right? The lie is a lie, right? I know it was a lie, so I didn't intervene as much. But I always let you know I'm okay on this side of the line. Why? I've always been very useful and very helpful. But you got to accept that the management will always lie to you. They're not going to be honest with you, right? When it comes down to shove, right? Are you going to just keep that lie to yourself all the time? No, you're not going to carry it for your children, and your children believed in that lie. No way. You think you're going to get away with it. This is not the easiest way out. So with all this redemption, you need to understand, am I going to carry this lie just for one person? No. Would I get told by another person and believe that lie? No. You have to start thinking on 2 feet here and realise I'm not going to carry that lie, because I'm not like one of them. And this and the fat controller that we come to know, he's not completely like that. Not on the outside of the building. So he won't always do it inside of the building or on the platform or at all. And you gotta realise, no, I'm not carrying that lie. Why? You gotta be realistic and understand redemption. Why? You need to understand you gotta stop believing in that lie. Right? The people that got that lie in their heads, stop spinning it. Stop rimming it across the line or across the stations. Right? Acknowledge that a lie was was told first, and you basically believed in that lie, and you want redemption, and you want to clear that out of the air. Right? You have to be realistic. Right? Nothing has come to pass. Right? The bad things that happened before has done more damage on me than it did on them, right? They're all innocent, so am I, so is everybody else. But you're living with a lie. Yes, you got to be realistic, right? You want redemption. You want to clear your names yourself. You want to admit that that's a lie. You want to admit that that lie is nothing to do with you, nor me. All it is a lie that was told in between, because person involved in that lie. There's only 3 people involved, right? It's Hugh Harkett, then you got Adrian Mudden and his wife. 3 people. Then you probably have Daisy on top because she's been a pain in the ass. Right? You've got to acknowledge that that's a lie. One big fat lie caused me not to get on that platform and help you out. Right? So you want redemption. You need to realise that's a lie I'm not prepared to carry. Why? Because a lie is a lie. Right? If the cops are going to rely on a lie, no. Because they've been living in that lie as much as everybody else would. So they're going to investigate more and more deeper and realise it's a lie, not a deceit. Well, it's a deceit on top, but you don't want to. When the people pass the buck, every time a new employer or employee comes into play and believing all in this lie and believing in all of this lie, right? They're going to ask, we don't want to believe that lie. Because, look, get real. Get the fact. Get the points. He's putting the points us in for us. Why? You're asking for redemption. You're asking for support. You want help. You want guidance. How can we get rid of this lie? First of all, you need to clear my name first. You can't go the other way round and fuck it all up, excuse my language. But you can't look, you're looking for redemption and something you need rather than want. This is something we're prepared to get rid of this management that's told a lie on us and we can't carry it anymore. You have to be realistic. When I see people knowing that I'm innocent, but they can't do nothing about it because they've been told higher up that they can't carry it anymore. It's like a lie. It's a lie that you must not carry because all it's doing is it's burdening you, it's burdening my mother, it's burdening me, and we all getting burnt. Why? A lot of you know what I'm talking about by realistic format, but when Wolf did this, right, I'm being realistic as it can be, right? A lot of you are trying to target me, not just from the inside, but the outside as well. I don't approve of this method. That method is going to kill you all if you don't grow up. Right? You got to realise it's a lie. It's a deceit. When you all look at it, it all comes to light. You can't be in one. You can't be in all of these places and realise, oh, let's tell a lie to this person or lie to that person. What will happen is the Norfolk Railway will end up dead because you've been lied to. You have to clear your names as well to realise you carried this lie for so long that you've forgotten it's been a long time. You can't carry it all your lives. It will kill you. It will but how I would like to put you, cause this will financially kill you by mind, soul, blood, all of it. Why? You've got to really understand. You want redemption. You want to clear that air. Realize it's a lie. It's a deceit. It's all a big mess. It's all a mess that needs clearing up now. Why? Why am I asking for it? Politely? Besides that, you've got to grow up, right? You got a drumhead effect. You want redemption because you want to ask you for redemption for a reason. This is not a joke. You need to ask yourself the very heart of all of this. It's fact. It's truth. But you got to clear my name properly. Help me. You can't for me to help you, I have to help myself, but at the same time, you have to do it vice versa. We have to work together. But as long as the management have got this all on their heads, even the cops as well, they all have to realise they've been told a lie. When somebody tells you you've been lied to, what do you do with that lie? Do you want to carry it for the rest of your life? It won't do you any justice on any system. It's like going to your computers and clearing out, reinstalling everything, and start fresh. Wake up. You know, the management won't give a shit about you. This is why I'm trying to tell you. When the management don't give a shit, their lie, which they are carrying, will destroy them first. You have to live. What you got to understand is when they tell you that lie, or somebody else does, you don't carry it. You ignore it. Just what I'm trying to establish with you guys, if you want redemption on this, you have to go through a drumhead effect on the first chapter, what you just heard. Then you got to go through me through the redemption to clear up all the acts and all the false accusations, all the false reports, all the false false acknowledgements, right? So you've got to clear the bad air to realise, no, I'm not carrying this lie on for this individual. This individual hasn't done nothing to me, right? Some people look at my face and they knew they were upset because they knew they were in the wrong. They knew they were innocent. They knew I was innocent. Why? I can't blame this guy. I can't just kick him out of the premises. Because the management think they got higher up, right? Work it out in your minds and in your hearts and your souls to realise you were in the wrong. You're asking for redemption. You want to clear the bad air. You don't want this lie to continue on and on and on and on, and then give me the bad name at the end and realise that everything we done for, what you're doing is you're basically killing everything. Everything that was set in stone for you, not the other way round. So when you look at redemption and everything else, right, the first thing you need, right, you need to understand why. Ask yourself a question. Why? The North Norfolk Railway management will not give a shit about you. Why? They don't give a damn about you until you lose something. Or lose something. Or someone. Then it becomes a flaming problem. And then you're burning up with the whole problem. Right? So you're ending up with this big, big issue. Saying you're carrying a lie every time you've been being employed or volunteer up there, whatever. The problem is, we all have to, you all have to clear that bad air and realise that's not true. Because he just proved the point. He proved and acknowledged and understand everything. It's like whoever's in charge of that railway right now, it's unstable, if you will. So get rid of him or her, whoever's in charge up there. They really don't know nothing about me because they never came face to face contact with me. They never talk to me. They don't ask. They don't ask. They don't get. Right? It's the truth. Asking questions is normally key. Right? I don't want every employer or employee to take on that responsibility. Why? Right? There's a boundary in the line, right? I am fighting 10 times over because I know you are in a sticky situation. You're asking for redemption, right? And you want that to succeed, right? A lot of you might think I'm the bad person on the planet, the baddest person on the planet, and you don't see the other picture. Right, when you work on that platform, are you acknowledging that you're carrying a lie that isn't true? You're basically saying, oh, this letter is showing it, but we haven't seen it do it, or we haven't seen him do this, nor did the management. So they're lying to themselves. So with the bad management makes a bad way, like I stated, and you're asking for redemption. And you're asking yourself the biggest question of all. Why? A lot of you feel guilty for carrying a lie. I understand that. But you're asking for redemption. You're not proud of carrying a lie. A lie that's been going on for 6 years now, and you bloody have to realise the management are in the wrong by allowing you carrying their burden that they created. So it's like saying you're asking for redemption, you're asking for help, you're asking for forgiveness. You want all of that from me, right? I'm giving it to you, right? But at the same time, you have to acknowledge you were in the wrong. The management made you like pawns on the chessboard and using you like that to establish a net where I can't get back on it. Right? They established it, told this lie, and passed the buck. And what happened is people will get sick and tired of that lie being spread around too bloody much that no one would never forgive you for it. Because you've been lied to from one senior down below, right? It's basically from top to bottom, right? You got to acknowledge you want redemption. You want to change. You want to acknowledge that it is a lie. It's a lie that a lot of people will carry for the rest of their lives, right? Because they can't forgive themselves, right? That lie will carry on and on and on until somebody realizes redemption and everything, right? We have to acknowledge, or you have to acknowledge, that there are wrongs in this, right? You have to understand the fine line between a lie, the truth, and acknowledgement, right? The problem is with the truth is that the truth does hurt, but it actually gives out the right information, right? When a lie has been passed on, it's passed on until everybody gets the memo, and then net is created, right? The railway is netted up, right? I can't go on the platform right now, right? So there's a lot of you are now saying, I don't want to be part of this net, and I don't want to carry this redemption. I want redemption. I want forgiveness. I want to support this man because he hasn't done nothing wrong to me, nor would he ever do it. And you went and seen it with your own eyes and ears, realizing you've been lied to, and now you're asking for forgiveness. Right? You want support, you want help, but you have to let go of that lie before you can move forward. You have to acknowledge that I have friends in high places that know about this so bloody badly they will not hit the hiccup. You're worried about this lie continuing on and on and on. Even when I got your back up, I always ending up being caught in this net, if you will. And this net is not going to go nowhere. So with this redemption, right, you're asking yourself, why? Let me put this in perspective for you. A lot of what I'm saying is true, but you're not going to go forward with the railway until you let go of that lie. Because if you keep with that lie, you're going to end up destroying yourself. So when you feel like you got this lie to keep, acknowledge that he cannot go on the platform, and we all netted up saying all the same lie, all the way through, right? You're basically bang, 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 poof. Why? You're asking yourself a very, very, very important question. Why carry this lie for some bloody bunch of management that don't even show their faces on me? That's discrimination, isn't it? In certain ways, and it's injustice as well. So work it out. You have to work out why. The thing is, you have to let go of what's been said to you because it's a lie. It's a lie. Why? People have been trusted with me to give out the right information for them. Why? You're asking for redemption, and it's taking you nearly hour, every day of your life. You're thinking, why carry a lie for somebody that I hardly didn't meet? It's like saying to you, the management is the liars. Yes, they're the ones that made that lie. They're the ones that spread it. They're the virus. How do you get rid of the virus? Use a virus program. Delete them. Remove them. Right? To remove the virus, you need to stop it from the source. The management. You're worried about your jobs, but it isn't the job that you're worried about. You're worried about carrying that lie for the rest of your life. It doesn't work that way, and you're asking me for forgiveness and saying, "Look, we know that you're innocent. We know you didn't do this. We know that you didn't commit this. You didn't do this, and you didn't do that." And it's true because your eyes are telling me it. You don't have to say it publicly, openly, right? A lot of older people will say, "Click, click, click, click," right? But you can't live with that lie for the rest of your life because it will kill you. And you don't want your children to carry it either. Right? So you need to redemption it. And say, look, take down that net because all you're dealing with is dealing with a problem that you can't see. Right? They didn't show it off, they didn't prove anything, did it? It was a lie just to get rid of me. So by redemptioning a lie, right, you're asking for forgiveness, you're asking for help, and you're asking for hope and support. Right? I'm giving it to you on a silver platter today. So it's not just a normal podcast that I'm doing there. I'm splitting it into a lot of categories for you to move forward without having that lie in front of you, right? The Norfolk Railway won't give a shit. Right? You need to realise the railway is your pride and joy as much as it is for me. But we are so legitimately connected. But a lot of you have to realise redemptioning the lie was a lie. Right? We understand that lie has to come from a source. A source has to be destroyed. But you have to tell that source to back off. Because if you tell them to back off, then you're basically standing up for me. Because in the day you're causing what they want to do to you. They're basically spreading that as a virus on everybody's computers, emails, voice calls, video calls, everything, and say, "Oh, this guy did this guy did this guy did that," blah blah blah. Goes down the chain, and they ending up finding out they caused the biggest problem of history that you can't get out of. And you're asking me for forgiveness because you want to say we will support you, we will aid you, we will help you understand everything. We will make sure that you get the right information or the right details and everything else. And look, a lot of people say a 3 against 1 is not easy, right? So it goes back to the drumhead effect. But the thing is, when you think about it, he's talking sense. He's talking realistically. But I'm telling you, if you carry with this lie for the rest of your life, you're going to ask for redemption. You're going to ask for forgiveness. Why? Let me put this in perspective for you, right? I have connections everywhere. Doesn't matter if it's from the globe or in the UK or everywhere. But I want you to fully understand why redemption is required. You're asking for forgiveness because you can't carry this lie for the rest of your life. You can't carry it, nor can I, and I can't accept that lie. Why? When they gave me the letter, I refused it. Why? Because it was a lie. The lie, it can be very hurtful, yes, than the truth. The truth is more honesty. When the lie is given, then it can then a lot of people believe that lie because they believed it for obvious reasons, the wrong reasons, the right reasons. That it could be vice versa, mixed feelings. It could be uh, that people are saying this and people saying that, and then just passing the buck and saying this is what happened, blah blah blah. Don't let this individual on, and they don't give a shit in the end, right? A lot of people now are asking for forgiveness. They want help. They want support. They want acknowledgement in every direction. But you have to establish that if you got told a lie, don't accept it. Because a lie will kill you. Because when the lies kill you, then you end up with a problem. So I'm advising you, if you're asking for redemption and you're asking for forgiveness and help and support, you will get that support and help, but not right now because you're in a difficult process of getting out of that lie. You don't want to be part of their net. You don't want to be part of that problem, right? A lot of you are going to carry with that lie until you die, right? A lot of you don't want that lie on your head because you know it has not happened. Or, well, a lot of people will say it's happened when it hasn't. You know, a lot of people will say, look, there's a reason why we talk about redemption in a lot of ways, right? You're going to end up with a big problem. And then one day, you're going to end up regretting what has happened should not happen at all. The management will not give in and realize that they were living on a lie. They are what you call a bunch of people that don't know if it happened correctly or not. They don't know between right or wrong, right? They don't know if they saw it with their own eyes and ears, right? But they don't acknowledge that this person may not be physically hurting people, verbally probably yes, but the thing is the actual outcome is that some out of the three people in the management, one of them is a liar. And you have to acknowledge 3 out of all the management is a liar, right? You don't want to carry that lie. If you've been told that I can't go on the premises, as example, then you're going to live with that lie. And then you're going to end up saying, no, I don't want to carry that lie. Why? Because if you carry that lie, so does the rest. So you lose out on the biggest problem, right? That you can't solve, right? And you ended up to acknowledge you want redemption. You want to change. You want to acknowledge that it is a lie. Because if you didn't see it happen, you can't get involved in somebody else's problem as example, right? The police knows that. The police knows that I haven't done nothing wrong. Because now they're reading it twice and realise it's false information. So when you realise that the police got involved, ding, 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 what happens to all of the North Norfolk Railway right now? They all netted up. They boarded themselves up. So what do? They tell the public they closed because they can't establish that anyone like me, for example, cannot go on the platform. I said, if you do that, you're discriminating another race. You're discriminating the person who's been lied to. Let's say me personally, who's been lied to, lied on the letter, and then lied to all of you. So then everybody becomes a target. Now you're carrying that burden on your shoulders, and it's not even your fault, and it's not my fault either, right? So you've been living a lie on every account, right? So when the people come to you, legitimately, you're gonna end up with this bloody problem, right? You can't do that, right? A lot of people say when a Hat family member rises, so does steam. That's correct. But booting out a Hat member of the family, you can't do that. You have to go through what you call a chain of command, which is true. But there's one thing: the management cannot overrule me because I'm too powerful. I'm helpful. I'm the opposite to what has happened before. You're worried. You watched everything unfold the way it did, right? But then everything starts to piece up, right? And you're asking for forgiveness. You want help. You want support. You want hope. You want all of it in one bucket. I'm giving it to you on a silver platter today. This is no ordinary podcast, guys, so please take that in consideration. So you're asking for forgiveness. You want to go forward. You don't want to carry that bloody lie. I don't want you to carry that lie because that's a lie. Right, if I was honest with you, face to face contact, I would tell you, what would you rather do? What would you would when you work on that railway? Do you want to carry that lie all the time? The answer will obviously be a no, because you don't want it on your guilty conscience. Right? You didn't do nothing wrong, nor did I. Right? The management screwed up. Right? The management will always screw up because they're the biggest virus on the computer. Right? You can't get rid of the whole fleet because then you're ending up with no management, right? But this management have to realise they are in the wrong. And they are wrong to pass the message on. The porters and the guards that got that lie, stop passing it on. Why? Because it's safer. And you also say, look, I don't believe in this lie because I don't think this guy is actually physically, verbally abusive. Or acknowledge that this guy deserves a little bit more respect now. He deserves that little bit more comforting to understand that there's more to him now. We understand. You have to understand. You have to witness everything unfolds naturally for a reason. You have to understand. You want redemption. You don't want to carry that lie. Nor do I. Right? But there's a barrier between it all. You have to understand redemption. It's not just about you, it's everybody around you that lived with that lie for 6 years and realised that it could be twice as longer. Why? So when you work day or night, are you going to carry that lie for the rest of your life? People will carry it and they will realise it was a lie, it's a deceit, and it was very deceitful, because you're passing the buck on onto everybody else. So you're trying to make a bigger net to try and block everything. So work it out. Like a firewall, if you like to call it correctly. Right? So what happens? When you got a problem, don't carry that lie. Because you become an antivirus. Think about it. You got a virus that needs eliminating. But you got a lie. instead of that, right? You got the team of stupid managers that don't know bugger all from left, right, or centre, and they told a lie, a lie, a lie, a lie, a lie, bump your uncle. They created a big virus. You need, one of you have to be an antivirus to counter that and say back, no, he's innocent, he's innocent, he's innocent. What will happen is the virus will destroy itself. So how did he destroy a virus? Use an antivirus program, right? So you got to acknowledge this is a lie. So what you're doing is you're turning a lie into an anti-lie. So you're reversing the lie to say, no, he hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. And he's been acknowledging it all the way through, right? So you have to acknowledge what you see is what you're getting. But at the same time, you've got a gift at the same time. And you've got people that have the similar gift. And you don't know A, or B, or C, or D. And you got this lie over your head to blockade me, stop me from doing the job I was set out to do, and you're basically killing yourselves for having the lie on your shoulders. Don't spread it. The more you spread it, the more people will understand that you're the liars, then you become the liar, and then everybody that's the manager now that ceased to exist for much longer, right? They're the biggest virus liars in the history. So work it out. It's been passed to the police, it's been passed to you lot. What happens? A chain reaction occurred. So what happens? Now you have to be coming in as a new employer or employee and acknowledge you're the antivirus. You need to reconfigure and say, no, I don't accept this lie. I don't think this guy has done nothing wrong. He's been set up, lied, and you've deceived him. You stab him in the back when he hasn't done nothing wrong to you. All you've done is stab, 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 and never asked what was. The thing is, a lot of people do silliest things, right? Not me, but the management themselves. They thought they could stab me in the back by showing themselves up in public. Then it becomes a little bit hasty because you're stuck in the middle between the public and themselves and all of that, and they all show up their true colours and everything else, and you've got to acknowledge that no. So when I say the management is carrying that lie, and the lie's been spread like a virus, what do? You get an antivirus to kill it, because you got to have an antivirus to kill them all. Because if you can't live with the lie, try and redeem yourself and say, no, I'm not carrying this lie for somebody that I hardly know or understand or read correct. And then the management will say, oh, he did this, he did that, he did this, and he did that. Do you want me to tell you something? They lied to everybody, not just me alone, everybody else as well. So work it out. 3 people against 1 individual. That wasn't a fair test to begin with, to be fair. So work it out. You're asking for forgiveness now, and you want that lie to stop. You have to stop it. If you're the last one in the chain that passed the buck, stop it and delete it. Because all you're doing is making the problem worse and worse every year and destroying it all. So then you killing off the North Norfolk Railway for what it stands and what it represents and everything else and how special it is and how unique it is and everything else, and you're ending up with one big problem. Right? The management has got no balls to face me. They're cowards. It's the word say. It's the word a Klingon would say. A bunch of cowards. They like the Doris family. Right? So they're basically the cowards. They fight, but they're cowards. Because they don't show their faces. Right? That is what the management are at the moment. and they can't establish it. Why? Now you're asking yourself another question on your mind. What happens if I stop telling this lie or believe this lie, as you like to call it? Then you'll be easy out. You'll be taking down everything. They use you as pawns to stop me. They're using their basic information they're given by the management to stop me. By stopping me, they're basically killing everything else off. Why? Because one day everything that should be unfolding would never unfold correctly. You'd be seeing it, and then you'd be fucked. It's not a normal joke. So you're asking for forgiveness for a lie. So work it out. You've got a net of a lie, and you've got to destroy that net. You've got to stop passing the buck to do it. It's the truth, it's the fact, and it's no lie. Right? So the management are the liars. They want to keep up spreading the lie. What they will do, they will destroy themselves. And the people that got this lie now will end up feeling guilty. Guilty as charged until they go to prison. Why? For carrying a lie. That isn't true. So when you ask for redemption and ask for forgiveness, get your family name or whatever, get your name back in the list and say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Am I going to forgive you that easy? No, of course not. In any angle. So work it out. It's not a joke. So when you think of going forward and forward and forward as you do now, you're carrying that lie. A lie. Just to safeguard those bloody bunkers up management at the top that don't show their bloody faces to me. They're the ones that are guilty. They're the ones that don't want to show their faces. They're the ones that are causing the trouble, and they're the ones that's made this bloody problem bigger than what it is. Look at me. I'm innocent. I'm clean. Why? I'm giving you the question and the answer at the same time because I'm innocent. So is everybody else outside the building. So, in the end of the day, you screwed up what's meant to be unfolding correctly. But in the day, you lost a big, big problem. A lot of you think there's a lot of problems in this. That doesn't make sense to you. Why carry a lie when you know you're going to get hurt for it? Because what they want to do is take you down with them. That's all they want to do. That's what the management is trying to do to you. They're using you as pawns to get to the other side to realise, say, oh, this guy's a so and so, this guy did this guy did that, boom, boom, boom. And you're ending up carrying that lie for the rest of your life, and you know it's a lie, and now you're asking for redemption to fix it all. You're asking, say to you now, to clear my name, you have to do the reverse of what the management is doing to you. So the management is telling you to carry this lie. Right? Even the porters, the guards, everybody else, all on the platform go left, right, and centre. It doesn't matter who's on duty. The problem is a lie has been spread like a virus, and it's time to put an antivirus in its place. And I'm about to go to my next chapter called The Sins of the Father, which I will explain another detail in this. Why this is all in the puzzle. And you need to work out, you need to clear my name now rather than later. So I'm asking for the redemption of this. So before I can even get into the next chapter in a few minutes, it will explain everything else to you in the silver pot. So when you think about it, work it out. You screwed up. What would have been on now? It's time to tell you about the sins of the father, right? A lot of you know that that um Wolf's family, son of Morg, had this problem to deal with. This is why redemption was so powerful. I said, in the day, the sins of the father, it's like somebody, basically my father has this gift as well, so it's my grandfather. But did my grandfather do anything wrong? The answer is no, because he was the first gen of Fat Controller, so Topham at the first, who's my grandfather. And then basically, you're asking yourselves, why carry this lie for the third gen Fat Controller for his grandson and burning him up with sadness? And then you're asking yourself, why carry the sins of his father, which is Charles Topham the second, for a problem that he's never created? That's a good point, isn't it? You thought I was like my father and my grandfather. I'm more like my grandfather than my father. Why? Because I was brought up in a world of caring, loving, and supporting family in every angle. Why? That's my purpose, sir. That's right, Thomas, in every angle. So work it out. I got Thomas the Tank and the Fat Controller's voice. Why? People say I'm really useful. I'm not like my father, Charles Topham the second, when he's got a Diesel 10 personality. Excuse my French, but it's the truth. Why are you saying the sins of the father has to be redeemed? Go, see, redemption has already been done. This is chapter 3, the sins of the father. Right? So we talk about Wolf going to the Klingon homeworld to 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 redeem himself, as you like to call it correctly. And the Klingon Empire, right, knew he was innocent, knew that son of Morg of the family, if you like to call it correctly, right, is innocent, right? It's a similar problem with me, right? So, with the sins of the father, of course my father did terrible things. Sometimes he did do good things. Not always the best, not all the options that you can think of every day. And realise that my father, Charles Topham the second, did have a stricken stern attitude, which is what I got, right? But I got the really useful cheeky direction because I'm Thomas the Tank, not Diesel 10. So, when you all thought about it hard and learning it hard now, you realise you got to a sticky situation where you've messed up big time, right? You're living a lie, obviously, believing a lie, right? That's been told to you, past the buck, and now you screwed up. Now you're basically trying to clear your names in the process and clear mine as well. Get the net down and say we've got to allow him back on the premises, which is true. But the management are gonna say, "What? You did this and this? Why?" You're gonna say to them, "We're not gonna carry your lie anymore." Why? Because he hasn't done nothing wrong, nor did his father, nor did his grandfather. Why? Because you go backwards to go forwards. So work it out. It doesn't take a genius to look into that. Whatever my father did wrong, it's got nothing to do with me because he's not in the picture with me. Right? You all think I'm the baddest person on the block. Right? No, I'm really useful, really helpful. And you blaming me my father, my grandfather, and you telling them they're bad people? Of course, my father would be the bad one because he was born in 1958. Well, that picture was taken, so I know a lot of things that you don't. And you're asking yourself a question. We have this lie over our heads from the management, and you want to clear your names, and you really want to really know why I'm telling you to do it in the opposite direction and give it a good order. I said the best way is to basically cancel out the lie and redeem it. Because you want you want redemption. And then in the day you're gonna get it cleared out and realise it's a lie. So with my father in the position that he was in, of course he was a bit of, you know, temperamental at times and a little bit strict and stern and a little bit more diesel tennis all the time because he's always done 10 out of 10 out of devious deeds. Right? You gotta wake up and smell of damn bloody coffee. Right? I can't pay for the crimes of my father. Right? Or the sins of the father, as they call it. Right? In the day, I worship my grandfather more than my father. So work it out. If I worship Sir Topham the first, work it out. Why was I in the picture, not always my father? Why? There are a lot of truths to this. You gotta wake up and smell the coffee. Why? A lot of people think my father was the nicest man on the block. Of course he was, to a point. Right? And I'm not saying it in just general, but the way the whole family sees him at that time, he was nice, kind, caring person in the world you've ever known. But then you got to work out why. I never met my real father until a little bit later in my life. But reality, I was brought up by my mother, right, Dowager Hatt, obviously, and then ending up being going forward and forward and forward, right? But you guys have to work it out. Why believe a lie when you know you're going to have to blame forgive yourselves for it because you know you're carrying a lie that doesn't exist. You're living that lie because you believe that or you've been told by someone, not by me. So you've been told by the management who's a big bad virus, right? They're lying to you to the T. Then you probably that lie gets passed on to one person, then it goes to the other, and then it goes to the other, then it goes to the other. Why? Because you're creating a net that's basically destroying yourself, right? You're basically blocking me out all the time because of the lie and the deceit. But with my father on this case, right? Of course he did bad things to a point, which I'm not proud of, nor would you be proud of, right? A steam team and the steam team are the ones who are getting the red flag at the moment, right? You have to realise my father is not always that easy forgiving person in the block to try and recorrect things, right? Charles Topham the second is Diesel 10, right, as well, right? So a lot of us have good things. When a good thing comes to you, don't spit me in the face or kick me out or anything like that, right? Because in the day you're basically becoming, you're basically, if I put the whole fleet on that platform now, that porters, the guards and everybody else, basically you're acting like Diesel 10. You're all a bunch of Diesel 10 pawns, right? So he has 10 of them that he trusts, right? You have the management on top of that, right? Which is Diesel 10's followers, right? You're ending up with a checkmate at the top at the end, right? That's not going to happen. No, because this is a family war, right? To begin with. One is on the good side, one's on the bad side. I'm on the good side, right? You have to understand there's a reason why I don't carry my father's sins. Let me put this in another perspective for you so you get a better way of understanding. When Wolf fought the council in private, right, he found out that his father was innocent, right? His father ending up been committed of a crime that he did not commit, right? What happened to me, obviously, in this case, Wolf found out the true identity, who's, who, who was in the wrong at the time, and told the Doris, right? Told Doris, a son of a trader. Now, and slapped him. Why? So, work it out. The sins of the father is something we're going to be really going to look into deep detail with. I said to you guys, this is going to hit you hard. Right? It's big commitment in every direction, right? You need to understand that the North Norfolk Railway are in the wrong, right? By carrying the burden of somebody else's lie, which is not acceptable on the platform, right? The management is the liars. They don't come to my face. They don't come to your face directly, not as much, obviously. You realise they're telling a lie. So don't believe that lie just because of this person told you so. Right? In the end of the day, they can't judge a book by its cover as example. Right? Don't judge the book by its cover. Don't judge the book by its cover. Work it out. It makes sense, don't it? The management fucked up on you. Right? By telling a lie. Being deceitful. And then making that person feel guilty when he isn't. Right? They're not judge, jury, and executioner. Right? So when it comes to my own sins of a father, that's different. Right? Because it happened in the 1950s. It happened in the 80s when this all magical occurred. So wake up and smell a coffee. Right? I'm not paying the price of my sins of my father here. Because I worship my grandfather above all else. Because we're both hats of the family. And we won't go down with the ship. Of course not. You know what? Sometimes you don't know how lucky you bloody damn are. You know, you're living a lie and you're taking that lie upon yourself and pass the buck. Right? Because the management tells you to. Does it give you rights to acknowledge that's a lie? Use your head. Use your intelligence. A lie will only get you so far up the ladder, right? Or down the line, as they say. Right? You're going to have to accept that's a lie. Because it is a lie. It's deceitful. Right? But at the end of the day, my father didn't do nothing wrong because he wasn't on the premises and nor was mine. So you can't blame us both. So then you've got my grandfather, Sir Topham the first. I said, without my grandfather and my father, you wouldn't have me. So work it forward. You screwed yourselves over. So the North Norfolk Railway's not going to cry wolf now, are they? They're going to be guilty. Right? So before I can even get into checkmate, which is the next chapter, I'm going to explain to you how to get round this, right? You know the sins of my father, we acknowledge that. But I'm not like my father at all. I'm totally a different fat controller altogether. I'm a third gen fat controller, Stephen Topham the third. Right? You have to acknowledge you are in the wrong. Right? We know about my sins of my father. But going back to redemption is what you're asking for, right? You're crying wolf and you want forgiveness. You want to get that little support and acknowledgement, right? To acknowledge you're in the wrong, not in the right, right? You're going to end up asking Very important question, right? Even the police will ask it, right? Why should a lot of you asking, why shall we carry this life for this individual? The management put you in a fucking sticky situation, haven't they? It's a damn truth, isn't it? When the truth has already been told in front of you and shown in front of you and all, what happened to it? There were scenes of the Thomas franchise that does tell you the bloody damn truth, right? They can't target Henry and they can't target James because they were both dead. So work it out. People are lucky to be in the position that I'm in, right? And acknowledge that you lot have a lot of explaining to do, right? The police and the Norfolk Railway have to put their heads together now and realise we've been carrying this lie and we can't accept it anymore. The management will go fucking AWOL. Why? Because their lie's been found out. Work it out. You're carrying that lie will kill you. Right? You have to establish in every direction you're going to have a problem. Right? You can't carry a lie. Can you absolutely be sure that you're going to carry that lie for the rest of your life and end up dead in the morning and find out you were wrong? You've got to wake up in the morning and realise, I've got a job to do, I need this money, but I can't lie for this individual that I haven't met or understand or got to know of or anybody. Everybody's judging the book by its cover, right? I'm not like my father, and that's what you're judging it on, based upon it on. So I'm going to tell you something, you're absolutely wrong, because I'm not like my father, ever. He doesn't give a shit about me, and he will not give a shit about you. The problem is the management have bent the rules too bloody far that they told a lie between the three of them and then basically backfired it on you. Why? Because they don't want to take the fall. They want you to take the fall. So you got the lie, you passed the buck, you created the net, and you fucked up. Why? Right, let me give you an example, right? Captain Jean-Luc Picard asked Data to move away from the enemy. Right? Right? The enemy hasn't been spotted yet, and Data has done an observant and make sure that he did this and this and this. And what did he do? He got commended for his good work. Why? Because they found the enemy. Ding ding, 3 times. Why? Because then the bad guys, or the bad people, the management as they call them, will end up losing a lot of money. Big money, right? It's not about the events they have, or anything like that. The sins of the father and redemption are one and the same storyline. Why? I have a private connection on the Star Trek franchise, alright? A private connection, right? In that which establishes everything, right? If my great uncle and both of my grandfathers were alive today, they wouldn't be happy with the Norfolk Railway carrying a lie, would they? Because that'd be deceitful, and it will be a lie that they won't carry on their shoulders either. Why? Because there's 4 of us, not just one. You screwed up, Norfolk Railway, and look at where you are. You're begging for mercy. So when you're living a lie, you're carrying a lie for the rest of your life until you die. Right? But you want to redeem yourself. You want to correct that problem. You want to solve that problem. But you have to be honest with yourselves, realizing I'm not carrying this lie for this person. No, you need to really, really look down and realise why. What happened was I really am getting to the line where I am actually going to draw this line into to really why I understand these things. Right? When people ask a lot of things from you, you tend to feel like, oh, we could give you more money, or they're like bribery action, if you like to call it correctly. I would call that injustice, right? It's the same with this lie. It's injustice, right? You can't go live right. A lot of the time, some lies are there to protect you, right? But I still need to be respected. I still need that self-esteem. Why? When people tell the truth in the highest way of formatting it as well, you're asking yourself the question. You want to recorrect everything that went wrong, right? You have to stop believing in that lie, number one. Stop passing it about and passing the buck, as they call it. You don't want the management, right? The management don't give a shit about you. When you break it down and break it down and break it down, I'm breaking down the system where you can't be running it around all the time in your heads. I don't want to wake up feeling really like, what have I done wrong? There's no proof. There wasn't only just false information that was given to the cops and yourselves, and you're ending up being passing that same information all the way through the years. Now I had it for 6 years. I had enough of you carrying it around. Now stop acting like you know it all because you don't. Right? People go to arms of length, right? To understand, you need to prioritize to understand where it's going to, where you when you don't want to cross that line anymore. You're going to ask yourself that line and say, no, I'm not like that, or I'm not like that either. I'm not as bad as, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a bad person. I am the Fat Controller, third gen. I am also known as Tom's the Tank Engine. Why? Oh boy, bust the buffer, sir. That's right, Thomas, at every angle. So acknowledge what's in front of you. Acknowledge that I did not do anything wrong. A lie was brewed up by three individuals, right? Diesel will not come back and recorrect this problem for you, nor would his wife, that bloody NHS whore, whatever you call it, which is true, because she is a bit of a hornet's nest. And then every day you got that too, number three, which is the other one, which is Sydney, one of the management. And you ended up asking yourself a question. You cannot allow certain things to unfold the wrong way because it will destroy you if you keep having this lie on your shoulders. I understand that you want forgiveness. I understand you need this. I understand you need that. But what you need first, you need forgiveness first. Because you can't forgive, if you can't forgive yourself, you can't forgive others. Because other people were set up, lied to, been deceitful, and all of that. Three things that diesels do, right? You need to start waking up and smelling your coffee, right? Let me give you a different scenario as it gets to nearly half past 30 minutes, obviously, getting to nearly 6 minutes anyway. I'm going to make sure you understand why you need to clear that air and realize you're carrying a lie. You need to clear it, fix it. You're the ones that need help, right? And I'm trying to help you in every angle, right? But there is so much I can only do. You're only supporting them because you've got nothing left, because you want the money. Right? The money is always going to be there. It's just the thing is, you can't carry that lie in your head. I don't expect you to carry that lie because that lie has got nothing to do with me. It may be based upon me, but it's a lie. If the lie, if I carried it, right, and I said to them it's true when it isn't, then I'd be lying to them. You see? So I'm telling you it is not true because the lie is false information, right? If I told that to the management, they won't believe me. So they screwed up. Hoo ha cat, all the boneheads that you think you know that are in that management, and they will end up screwed up because they got a big flaming damn lie in their heads. So when they got screwed up, they're gonna screw you up because they're telling you that same lie all the way down the chain. So everybody get hurt. Everybody gets scared of me. Everybody feels like, oh, he hasn't done nothing wrong, or he did this wrong, he did that wrong, he did this wrong. And then you're ending up thinking he's like his father, blah, 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 because you go back even further. Then you're working out, no, he isn't. He's like his grandfather. Ding, ding. So I'm now going to tell you the next chapter of your book in a minute, which it will be. And you're going to have to establish why. You have to realize you're the guilty party right now because you're carrying a lie for somebody, right? Like a piggy bank or or what you call a goose chase, a riot, if you will, right? There will be a time when you're gonna start realizing it's a lie. Why? Because it's a lie. I won't accept it because it is a lie because I already got the letter to prove it. Right? I read it twice and actually read between the lines and realised how much of a lie they were. Right? So you need to start prioritising. So you need to start understanding what they done to you. They damaged you there and then, and you're ending up carrying the flame. Right? I'm going to tell you another story in 2 minutes just to give out a little heads up. You cannot in any way carry that burden. No way would I ever expect you to carry that lie and pass the buck. Every time once you got it, you pass the buck. I don't want you to do that because that's illegal. You may tell people that, blah, 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 la, 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 and passing the buck, passing the buck. If the management tell you, you tell them to back off because tell them I'm not getting involved because you want to keep out of it. Why? Because you really, if you're intelligent like me, you will know it's a lie. I would not accept liars. I never had done. I don't like liars. When lies come to me, then it'll be like one big mousetrap in certain ways impossible, right? But you have to realize the sins of the father, right? It's a similar direction like that, and it's very common. One person defends his father's honor, right? Bang. For me, it's like I'm doing it for 2 times plus myself. Makes 3, right? We establish that you got this big weight over your shoulders. Everybody that's carrying that lie on the Norfolk Railway. You're not winning. You're losing if you're carrying it. It's like a virus to every machine on every computer. You better start realizing that's a lie. Because even if it was written, how can you prove it if you weren't there? Right? It's not the same as black and white is saying the management is saying this and this and this about this individual. And I said, look, the management have messed you up, all of you up. And now I've got to format every of your head of every of your heads telling you it's a lie. And I don't want you to carry that lie and pass the buck. If the management knows it's a lie, they would not pass it on to you. But if there was a hidden, if they've got a hidden agenda or a hidden motive, then it's classified as injustice because they didn't have the full truth from me to understand everything else. So they screwed up, the management screwed up big time and never shown their face to me. Why? Because they're cowards. They always had been cowards. Right? And I'm now going to be going through my next chapter called Checkmate. Now, I'm going to talk about checkmate in a different way, and it's not Star Trek based after all. Right? We're going to actually understand this from a different angle and making sure you get it right. Right? So we go through drumhead, redemption, and sins of father all rolled into one there. But that's one subject overall. But we're going to talk about checkmate. Why? Right? All of you at the North Norfolk Railway are pieces of the chessboard. Right? With a lie that's been put in front of you, you're basically losing out. Right? The reason that I'm using what I see above me is a bit like chess in every direction, right? Take all the pieces off the board, right? The first things first is to acknowledge that you are in the wrong, right? Amanda Waller wanted to be absolute justice, as they call it, right? Right? And Dr. Fate had said, also at the same time, he said, when you show yourself to the world, it'll be a different age than ours. Ding ding, if you get my point of the quote, where I'm coming from. And then, which it is, it's a different age, it's a different era, it's a different type of group, right? A lot of people will have to understand that when things come to light, everything unfolds naturally like anything, right? But we have to acknowledge that the North Norfolk Railway is in the wrong, obviously. They know they're carrying a lie. So it's like a, the chessboard got cleaned off, and then you're ending up with a red queen in the middle, right? Right, Amanda Waller got pissed off, right? A lot of people said, in the logical way of saying this correctly, it's that you lot grow up now. It's time to grow up. You're asking for forgiveness. You're going to get that forgiveness, right? You have to realise the management are only just trying to control you. Because the more they control you, the harder they become, right? When we establish what we can do or what we want to do with our lives, it's no matter of yours or whatever, but establishing everything else, right? So what do we do? It's like one thing overall to the other, right? We all establish that when things come to you, you do not want to destroy the good guys. That's the thing, right? When people's reputation is on the line, are you going to checkmate them out and kick them out, boot them out, and say this is what they say about you and all that? Right? What you're going to do, right? To reset yourself, you're going to start listening to the Red Queen, right? The Red Queen tells you, stop hurting my son or you're out, right? Stop abusing my son and tell him he's not allowed on the platform, right? You need to start clearing your act, right? I'm giving you a new clean slate chessboard, right? Where the red pieces on one end and then the white pieces on the other, or black pieces on the other end, right? A lot of people don't realise playing chess is basically what the management of the North Norfolk Railway is doing, right? And we have to acknowledge that you cannot solve a problem that has been created 6 years ago because you basically believe that lie the day you've been told it, right? You want to recorrect it, right? You want absolute justice? You have to get rid of the management because they told you a lie. What do you do with management that tells you a lie? I'm giving you an easy way forward, right? You want to make sure everything's hunky dory on the end, right? You want to still continue to work there, but you have to acknowledge that you're in the wrong because you have to make sure that that lie doesn't get spread out even more. Because you're acknowledging to everybody else that they have to understand everything else that's unfolded, right? Not everything is going to come to you straight away, and I guarantee it, right? And you have to realize why. You have to understand why, right? A lot of people say, why do we have to do it this way and we have to sort it out this way and we correct the problem? You got to nail the problem in the bud, right? But you've got basically a person that's been set up, right? But that leaves a black marker on your name, which it should not done. You're asking yourself, you're asking for forgiveness. You want to be the good guy, not the bad guy. To be a good guy, you have to work with me, right? You got to understand me, get everything under under the radar. But you got a bad management on their hands, right? You want to get rid of them. But to get rid of them, you have to stop believing in that lie. If they tell you when you new employer or employee, stop believing their lies, right? When it's on record, right, they're carrying a lie that they will tell you to pass the buck on. Stop doing that. That's the first step. If they tell you it, don't believe it because you do not want. You want to change it around and turn the tables, right? You have to establish you screwed up majorly, right? It's not gonna fix the problem. It's gonna fix the problem over time, but it may be too late. But I'm trying to solve it now, or here and now, rather than later. Because if it gets too complicated, you're ending up in a sticky situation where you can't get out, right? I know people in all connections around the globe, right? You have to establish why. A lot of you have got a bad problem. You have really got a bad problem because you're carrying that lie. You have to establish you were in the wrong. By carrying that lie, you're passing it on, and you're probably going out on the for a drink and saying the same message, passing the buck to try and get more volunteers and employees. I said, don't bother because you're bloody fighting with yourself and you're also lying to everybody else. So you're basically saying, stop. Whoever's got the last message of that, right? Stop adding it in because you're bloody fueling the fire at its weakest point. So if I told you to stop what you're doing, right? The steam team is ready, right? It's like a checkmate problem that we had twice overall, may I add, right? Amanda Waller wanted to obsolete the the the, the Justice Society of America, right? Or the Justice League of the future, if you would like to call it correctly, right? She could not do it properly. Why? let me put this in perspective for you, right? You're gonna end up so badly screwed up you won't be able to get out of your own mess right now, right? I'm giving you forgiveness because it's not your fault. You've just been told by a higher up, not by me, because I'm your higher. I'm your man that you should be talking to, not the other lot, because the other lot will lie. I've been honest with everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry, around the globe, all the 8 billion of people of you, the 10, and all the UK and the United States and Australia, all of it. Right? You have to establish you are in the wrong. So to correct the problem, you need to stop lying to everybody else because you're passing the lie that was told to you. So while you got that lie, probably hurting you, upsetting you, depressing you, go to mental hospital will probably cure you. You know what I mean? It's like saying to you, you lied to the police, you lied to yourselves, and and the management told you that lie. So working it backwards, not forwards. Why? You know the answer straight off, and I won't give it out too much anymore. But you got the drill. If you live with that lie and you've been told you got to do your work, you got to do your job, but don't let this individual on because of such and such and such. Ignore the lie because in the day you're gonna understand why is this man trying to clear his name. That's what you'll go through your heads at the moment. You're rotating forward. Now you're understanding what needs to be done and recorrecting everything, right? Things that you have to understand. It's like when it goes forward, 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 you're correcting it, but you're also saying, I don't want to believe in that lie anymore. It's hurting me. And it's hurting you lot because you're the ones that have to carry it, not me. But I'm seeing you do your jobs you meant to do, but you're carrying that lie on the process. So the lie will kill you because the lie will deceive is too deceitful, then you become as bad as the management because you're ending up losing. So work it out. You're trying to tell everybody around you, plus the whole of the sharing them in the community. The community will realise that you're lying because it's a lie overall, and you'll end up being checkmated out. Why? Because if the management have got no balls to face me, then that shows you how much of a cowards they are. And that's the management of the Norfolk Railway. Because they are, what they don't understand is that they lied to you that made the problem worse. So if you were me or if it was somebody else that was got that lie, I would know when it's a lie and when it's the truth. Right? A lot of people will go to arm's length. Right? It, for the older generation that know about this, should have picked up on this ages ago and realised there's a lie going to be floating about. Right? This lie has been going on for 6 years. Is it going to continue anymore? No, because we checkmated the management of the Norfolk Railway out. All we have to do is checkmate all of you lot out to stop the net from being in my way. So look at yourself. You got everything in proportion, and now you're starting to realise everything unfolded. Stop being selfish for once and look and realistically down the line that you're dealing with an innocent person. Because every day of your life, you're leaving yourself with that little bit of glimmer of hope to realise, to understand what you're going to do. Keep the net up and destroy yourselves, or take the net down and be good for yourselves. Because that net is a bad virus. Right? So you're going to have to take down the net because you have to take down the virus. So it's like saying, we don't want to carry this lie anymore. It's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. Right? Even if it's already been written, it's a lie that's carried around you and it's hurting you and it's affecting you. Mind, body, and wits. A lot of you might end up going to hospital. Why? Because it's taking a toll on the older generation. Why? Because that's what that will happen. And then you'll end up feeling twice as guilty for carrying it. And then you'll end up with checkmate on your radar. Because that's what you're doing. So when you think why it's why I'm telling you in this way, it's because it's giving you a red flag everywhere else, but understanding that you can't take, uh, you must not have that lie in front of you. You know, the Northwestern Railway, or first section of North Norfolk Railway, are one and the same. The only problem is that you lot are too blind to see it and realise, oh, we have to be understanding of this man and understand he's innocent. Right? A lot of injustice has been done to the system that people believed one lie to fuck up everything else. Excuse my language. So are you going to afford to go forward and not carry that burden or carry that lie for the management? The management will lie and lie and lie until their cows come home. They won't. They won't acknowledge that they are in the wrong. They're too scared to face me, and they're too scared to face you. Work it out. They're cowards, and when they are cowards, they are being useless to you. All they care about is the money factor. And in the day, who loses out? Not me. You can't blame me because I'm innocent. You can't blame Duck because he's innocent. You can't blame my whole steam fleet because they're all innocent. Why? And you can't blame James and bloody Henry because they've already gone and buried. So wake up. You screwed up. If you really looked at it now, you're probably realizing, oh shit. Yeah, you probably would say, oh shit. Your mind is thinking twice as hard and understanding that you're in the wrong. One of these days, you're going to outwit the problem. The problem is right in front of you. So please, take responsibility and realize you're in the wrong. Because by carrying on the management's bloody orders, it's like living a lie for the rest of your life. So now you've got the truth, how they set me up, and how they witnessing it all through. I said, yeah, I have contacts on the inside and the outside, even around the globe. So work it out. By the time you actually understand that the police have been set up, the North Norfolk Railway lied to you, and you working for them, carrying the same lie on your heads, watch it. It will unfold in a way that you will never expect it, right? And you then work out, I'm not carrying this lie for that individual, because in the day he may not have done nothing wrong, and because I will tell you the truth, I never did do nothing wrong. All they care about is that the fact is that they abuse the system bigger than longer. And now because that lie's been spread around too much, that lie's killing everyone else. Thanks a lot to yourselves because you destroyed yourselves, not the North North. I didn't do it, the North Norfolk Railway did. Thank you very much.